Hi, friends. This is Cindy Grant, silver leader in Young Living Essential Oils, going on 10 years now. Thanks for joining us on Gray Hair Don't Care. I'm sharing my tips with you all on going Silverlicious naturally. So let's get growing healthy, young living hair. So why did I go gray 10 years ago? It's simple, really. Many of you may have been going through exactly the same thing. I was pretty sick when I came into Young Living, and I was seeing a naturopath who showed me through a live blood analysis the effects of bioaccumulation from toxins in my system that I was using from everyday lifestyle products. I had been using them for many, many years, and they were building up, keeping me low vibe and not well. So my health became the number one reason to get inspired to peel back the layers of chemical exposure and get back to the beauty inside. And now I love helping people transition to gray. So as you can see from my photographs, that was me in 2013 as I came into Young Living, and only after using Young Living essential oils and products 2 years later, I became a whole new person. And by the way, it didn't take me 2 years to transition to gray. It only took me about 8 to 9 months. So let me show you how you can do it. I was a fashion forward person. I loved using any kind of new hair product that was out there, anything in skincare, makeup, anything I could, because I just absolutely loved it. I went to great lengths to find products that beautified me. And as a matter of fact, I did some pretty outrageous things. Maybe you can relate to this next photograph. I wanted to get that look. So maybe you've also suffered this secret in the salon where you were enduring highlights and foils and bleaching agents and heat lamps and perm rollers and chemicals, right? We all did it. Some of us still do it. Oh my gosh. When I think back to how much money I was spending on my hair per year, it was crazy. Like keeping up with root touch-ups, highlights, just those alone, I think were about $800 a year. Add cuts onto that, now you're looking at about $1,300 a year, not to mention the shampoos, the conditioners, the mousses, the heat protectors, setting sprays, the deep conditioning products to correct all the damage that those products were doing to your hair. And what about those hair dryers and tools and curling irons? On average, I think I was spending about $2,200 a year on my hair alone. That wasn't even makeup or skincare. That was just my hair. So needless to say, when I went natural and transitioned to gray, I saved a whole lot of money getting well. And now I'm saving about $1,550 a year. My health has dramatically lifted, and my hair has never been easier to do. So who doesn't want that, right? So what was the first thing I did? The first thing I did was I actually transitioned to clean beauty. I took all of my products and I threw them away. And I replaced them all with Young Living Clean Beauty, starting with shampoos and conditioners. I'd gotten rid of all my exposure to parabens, phthalates, SLSs, fragrances, formaldehyde releasing products that were building up in my system for over 40 years. I loved Young Living products. I loved that they were plant-based, that they were good for the environment. They weren't going to hurt the water systems, that you could use them daily for not only cleansing, but also deep hydration. And the best part of it all was that there was no fragrance, because Young Living uses therapeutic grade essential oils 100%. And that's the gorgeous aroma that you get from any product from Young Living. But it is also what repairs the damage, what brings back the luster, which builds beautiful hair. That's what goes to work for us. I love using the lavender mint set in the summer, the shampoo and the conditioner, because it's light, it's cleansing, and it's invigorating, especially to the scalp. And in the wintertime, I use the Copaiba vanilla because it's much more hydrating. And I find that my hair does get drier in the wintertime. So I know you're sitting there thinking this one thing. You're all thinking this one thing. And I've heard it so many times before. But natural products, they just don't work for me because they don't provide enough moisture. And I get it. I probably had that same thought 10 years ago too. But you know what? There's a reason for that. And that reason is called buildup. So when we're using the products that are on the market today, you are exposing yourself to a lot of product buildup that comes from them. So product buildup happens over time when you're using layers of serums and sprays and creams and oils and dry shampoos that you use daily, but leaves behind a non-soluble sticky residue on your gorgeous locks, both your hair strands and your scalp. So these products are filled with synthetic chemicals that disrupt your pH level of your hair and actually damage your hair, leaving you looking dull, limp, and lackluster. Have you ever had that feeling where there isn't anything that you can do with that hair that you have? Products just don't work anymore. You can't style it. It feels very heavy. I found many hair cleanses online because that's what I thought. I thought, you know what, I got to do some hair cleansing. And I went on Google and there were a lot of apple cider hair cleanses. That's the natural way to go. But what I found was that the apple cider was so much more stringent on my hair than I could take. So I tried something different. I looked at what does Young Living have that I might be able to use. And I grabbed charcoal bar soap. You think about it, it's clarifying to the skin and it clarifies without stripping your natural, very needed oils on your skin. So why wouldn't it work on your hair that way? So I tried it and voila, it did exactly the same thing for my hair that it does for my face. I just made sure that I did a really good deep conditioning of my hair after I used it. So even using any of the Young Living conditioners as a hair mask, a deep conditioning hair mask, where you can put it on dry, or after you get your hair shampooed and conditioned, leave a little bit in your hair on the roots and go to bed with it on that way to give yourself a really deep moisturizing treatment. So interesting, because I've been doing this for 10 years. And what I noticed is in that 10 years that I've used Young Living hair products, I've never once had to cleanse my hair after that first time to get the buildup out. I just didn't get the buildup from the products that were in Young Living. My hair always looks healthy and shiny. I have no complaints. And I always take my Young Living shampoo and conditioner to the salon with me, and I get them to use my products instead. So when you're going to any natural type of product, you absolutely must detox your hair beforehand if you want any new products to work. It's not a bad idea. So if this is you right now, where you're looking at your roots and you got a lot of gray coming through your roots, and you're tired of leaking money to the salon, it's the perfect time for you to embrace your silver diva. So how do you do it? It's not as difficult as you think. It's actually much easier. The number one step that I found worked really well was I needed to cover up my roots coming through for as long as I possibly could. I wanted to grow those roots out as far as I possibly could before I started doing something different. That was phase one. So what did I use? I used Cover Up with DIY dry shampoo and I also used makeup. So if you still have your Savvy makeup eyeshadows, or if you're using a natural makeup product, you can do exactly the same thing as you would with a dry shampoo. So it's really easy. So you pick the color, or you pick the product that's as closest to your dyed hair. So if you have white or gray hair, you could use cornstarch, or Veil, for example, is a product that we used to use in Savvy. If you have brown hair, you could use cocoa powder. If you have black hair, you could use charcoal powder, but be careful because charcoal powder is really tricky and it gets everywhere. If you have red hair, you could use beetroot powder. And then you add your favorite essential oils, you mix it up, you take a makeup brush and you apply it to your roots to cover it up. And you would do that every single morning. You could do exactly the same with makeup. So here's a recipe using 3 gorgeous hair-loving, Young Living essential oils: cedarwood essential oil, rosemary essential oil, and tea tree essential oil. You could even throw a little bit of lavender in there too, if you like. And this is exactly what I did. I bought an organic cornstarch, and I took my essential oils and I added it right to the container and I shook it up. And then I took my beautiful makeup brushes, and it depends on which one you like and how you want to apply it. So if I want general coverage all over for a dry shampoo, I would do that. But if I wanted to be very specific and get just the line of gray coming through, I would use a thinner makeup brush, like an eyeshadow brush. And that's all you do. And it's so easy. It's washable every night. You apply it every morning. And when you're doing your DIY shampoos, you are ensuring that you don't have any harsh parabens, dyes, perfumes that damage your gorgeous locks. So that was step number 1. So what's stopping you from going gray? People would stop me in the grocery store and they would ask me how I did it. Is that your natural color? How did you do it? Oh, I would love to be able to grow my hair out gray. And I would say, well, you can. And they say, well, no, I can't. And there was always the same 2 excuses I would hear over and over again, all the time. And I'm here to bust through those myths. So the number 1 thing that I would always hear is, but mine won't look as good as yours. And that's a total lie. And I'll tell you why. It all has to do with keeping your color after you turn gray. And there are secrets that you can use in order to make sure your gray hair pops and doesn't look yellow and brassy. I'll show you that in the next slide so that you can make this DIY recipe yourself. The second one I would always hear as well is, oh, but I'm much whiter than you are. When you look at my part, there's so much white hair coming through. Look at my part. It's going to be everywhere. I'm going to be solid white. I can't do it. And that's not actually the truth. If you ask any good stylist, they'll tell you that your roots are very concentrated. So this is where your most predominant color will be the most intense, is right here in the roots. But as it grows out, it spreads out. So it's not necessarily going to be how your entire head of hair will look. Couple extra tips for you: get an understanding colorist or hair salon artist, because there's lots of colorists and salon people out there that are afraid of losing money. So they're not going to help you on your journey of growing gray hair. I've had people tell me that it was unhealthy and that psychologically I wouldn't be able to do it. I couldn't believe some of the stuff that was being fed to me. And if you have a good understanding hairdresser, they're going to help you on your journey to give you the best and ultimate thing that you're looking for. Some of them will actually highlight your hair in order to blend the grays with a highlight and your base color so that it blends beautifully. And you can't really tell that the gray is growing in, and that you don't get a really straight line. You get it all kind of salt and pepper sprinkled throughout. So ask your colorist what their opinion is on going gray, and you'll get a good idea of which side of the fence they're on. The other thing that you want to do is you want to get a really great cut. Rock that haircut. Make sure you wear it. Don't let it wear you, right? This is all about feeling fantastic. Get a cut that makes you go, oh, wow, I can take on the world and rock it. Because then it doesn't matter what color your hair is, you're always going to look great. And this is a good one too. And this has a lot to do with Young Living essential oils and how they can help you grow your hair faster. If you are massaging your scalp and really activating the skin on your head, right where the follicles are coming out, you're going to encourage growth. And when you add essential oils to that, you're going to synergize it and make it grow faster. So here are some great oils that you can use in that scalp massage: cedarwood, rosemary, lavender. You only need 1 drop of each. You can mix it with a drop of carrier oil, massage it into your head before you go to bed at night, sleep with it there, or you can wake up in the morning and put it on to go to work. It's a personal preference as to when you do it. You got to get creative. There's going to be some tough times where, you know, you're going to look at your hair and you're going to have a lot of gray hair coming out, and there's going to be a line and possibly some different color hair there, and it's going to be challenging, and you're going to think, geez, should I keep going? And the answer is yes, 100% yes. You just have to get creative. Buy some accessories, put it in your hair. There's less gray hair underneath than there is on the roots. So put your hair up so that people can't see the line coming through. Mix it up. I started to twist my curls into dreads, which totally hid my grays growing out. As you can see on the left-hand side, you couldn't even tell. Once it got a little bit longer and I had about 10 to 12 inches of gray hair coming out, I started to feel like I just needed to cut that different color off, kind of like the shedding of the old and bringing in the new. And the minute I did, I started to feel fantastic. And it didn't take very long afterwards, after I got a great cut, that I started to just go gray and didn't notice anything else. And if you take a look too, like, that was actually a purposeful cut. It was almost as if I was purposefully trying to grow ombre in. And ombre is a very trendy hairstyle now, where there's 2 different colors coming in from the root and growing out your previous hair color. So just be creative. You're going to love it. It's going to be easy. Have fun and remember the end result and why you're doing this for. Once you get gray hair, there's one really important secret to keeping your hair color bright and shiny, and it has to do with the color purple. So what causes gray hair to go yellow or orange? Have you ever seen that? It's lack of pigment and then our exposure to things like chlorine, hard water, or certain hair products that make our hair look brassy. So we kind of got to make extra efforts to keep our hair crisp and colorful and bright. Purple shampoos on the market are designed for that. They're toning shampoos that have been designed for blonde, silver, bleached, or brassy hair. They do contain crushed violet pigments that neutralize brassy and yellow tones. However, they are full of synthetic chemicals like carcinogenic foaming agents of SLS and SLES. They also have MCIT preservatives that are highly allergenic that can cause contact dermatitis. Why are we putting it on our hair if that's what's in the product? And they actually replace parabens. So once something becomes bad, like a paraben, companies will go in and put in a new product with a new name that we don't recognize that's even more harmful to us. So ammonia LS, lauryl sulfate, is a surfactant that you'll find in purple shampoos that are not fully regulated in Canada or in the US, and they actually damage your skin barrier, which is your microbiome. And we know what that is. All you need is 2% of that ammonia LS or higher in order for it to damage that skin. Oxybenzone, that's an endocrine disruptor that filters UV light that's coming into the hair, protecting you, but it acts like female hormones because it's a hormone disruptor in the body, and it also causes allergies. To top it all off, the purple shampoos on the market can actually strip away your natural oils from your hair, leaving it dry and brittle. So what do I use? Young Living oils, of course. This is my all-time favorite solution in Young Living, and that is blue tansy. It is the color of a very, very deep, dark Smurf, and it's perfect for putting in that beautiful reflection of the bluey purple tones into gray and silver hair. When you use blue tansy, this is actually a recipe from Healthier Times that creates a big batch, but I personally like to use little applications one at a time. So I like to put a little conditioner, lavender mint, for example, and 1 drop of blue tansy, mix it in, and then I put it in my hair, let it sit for a minute, no more, because it might actually take on a little bit more of a blue hue. And hey, if you like a blue hue, then go for it. But maybe only keep it in for a minute if you just want it to bounce your gray hair and make it reflect beautiful light. And you only do it a couple times a week. You don't need to do it every single day. This is just top notch. The other thing that I grab for, and I kind of rotate between these two, is here we go again with that charcoal bar soap. Fantastic. When you lather it up, because it's charcoal, it goes a purpley black color. And so I find that it does the job and it lightens everything up. It keeps the orangey, brassy tones away. And again, same rule, you only do it a couple of times a week at max. And then you make sure that you moisturize very, very well, perhaps with a deep hydrating hair mask. So those are my top-notch secrets to transitioning to gray. The last one is you've got to stay inspired. And sometimes we need help to do that. And what I did was I went to Pinterest and I started to look up other people who had already transitioned to gray that looked gorgeous and that just exuded confidence. And there's 2 that are fantastic. One is Anika von Holt and the other is Yasmina Rossi. And these 2 ladies are midlife and older, and they've got stunning silver gray natural hair. And I have collected lots and lots of pictures of them and anybody else who has transitioned into my group in Pinterest, and it's called Savvy by Nature, Cindy Grant, Savvy by Nature. You're more than welcome to follow me. I have over 1,385 photographs and articles there. So if you would like to get some inspiration to keep you going through those tough times, or to learn more about different styles that you can put on in order to grow out your hair for about 6 to 8 months, this will really, really help. So I hope that I've inspired a fire in you to embrace your silver fox, the silver fox that you are. And I'm wishing you all amazing strength and endurance on your path to revealing your silverlicious self. This is Cindy. Silver leader means something different. Peace out.